nestled in the Ouachita Mountains in Arkansas. Hot Springs is a tourist spot for many looking to escape and get away from the mundane. Hot Springs Bathhouse Row offers several spas, natural hot springs, and local attractions to help you relax and forget your troubles. Hot Springs offers a home to many historical buildings and sites. But on the northern side of Park Avenue, a famous site is said to be home to more than just who works there. It is believed that 20% of the people have seen or encountered a ghost in their lifetime. It is also believed that some places have more activity than others. Tonight we will visit a place that truly once was a gangster's paradise.
This is The Vapors, now considered The Vapors Live. The Vapors is a long history of entertainment and very much a statue for the city of Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Vapors, which is right at 26,000 square foot sitting down. Anyone is ever familiar with Hot Springs and knowing the history, it has been surrounded by gangsters since the 30s. It's one of the only places that Al Capone and Bugsy Malone could sit together and actually have breakfast together. If you went out of the county, different story.
Daryl Faircloth is the promotions manager for the Vapors. Daryl has had a few what was that moments, but one in particular has left more than an impression on his mind.
When we were, the cast was rehearsing for the play Misery that we did back in July. The cast was in here running lines. I was back in the back, laying there watching TV, and I felt somebody sit down next to me. I had my back to that presence, and I figured it was one of the cast members. I turned over, and there was nobody there, but the butt impression on the memory foam was filling up. I thought I must have just missed them. I got up, walked out. There was nobody in the theater. They were running lines on the far side of the building, catty corner. No explanation for that.
Daryl is not the only one to experience what cannot be explained.
I'm part of a group that had a dinner theater show here. We were turning off all the lights throughout the house on the first night of actually doing the show. On the stage behind me, we actually had 2 tables for like a high table, and it had a whole bunch of small little candle lights that were there. Not real, fake ones. And you had to literally twist them to turn them off. Went through, twist, turned everything off. I started walking back up here to greet the party that was going to be leaving with us. And my mom stopped me and said, "I thought you turned the lights off on stage." And I said, "I did." I turned around and guess what? The lights were back on the stage. Every single one of them.
It is said that people hear children laughing throughout the theater. It has also been said that they've heard voices in the women's bathroom and seen a woman walking around the lobby. A man's figure has been seen as well.
She walked. It was like she was right here, and she walked this way, and she was just walking very sedately, and she went into here. And I was in there, so I lost sight of her here. So I got up and came in, and Marilyn was working in the kitchen. And I said, did somebody just come in here? And she said, no. And I said, well, I just saw your ghost.
Wow.
Because she walked in here.
Wow.
I've come to the Vapors quite frequently in the last year, and I was sitting right over here one afternoon, and I saw the figure of a woman. She looked like she was slender, and she had on kind of a long dress, but not all the way to the floor, maybe like 3/4 length. But she wasn't solid. And she walked through the foyer into the kitchen area. Like I said, she wasn't solid, so it was kind of difficult to get any more detail than that. And she walked pretty quickly just across the room and into the thing. And I got up and I walked over there to see if anybody was there, and there wasn't anyone.
So my name is Blake Woodson. I'm with Sweet and Sour Paranormal. We're here at the Vapor Live tonight. One of the things I absolutely love about investigation is the history of places, and there's a lot of history here. So I'm very, very excited about this investigation.
The things that I notice all of the time are voices. I have not seen anything other than the lighting issues that we had during the murder mystery, but I hear voices a lot. I'll come walking down the hallway, think Jimmy's out here, get ready to open the door, see Jimmy and say something to him, open the door and nobody's here. For me, there's something really neat and really unique about this building.
So the Vapors was brought here to bring in entertainment. At one time, it was considered the only entertainment this side of the Mississippi until you get to Las Vegas. My father purchased this building and turned it into a church, of all things. And so I've always made the comment that there's always been some kind of a spirit hanging on to this building. I have personally felt that there's always been, whenever it was converted over to a church, that was riding above anything that could have happened to this church. And then once that was released, the attachments were allowed to come back. So as the gambling was going on in the city and the speakeasies were taking over, so was here at the Vapors. And so you could actually, it was a little Vegas is what it really was. And so you had the little cigarette girls with the trays, you had everything going on. There was a bombing that took place in this building. And what happened with the bombing is that it exposed the gambling that was going on in this building. Up till that time, a lot of that was hidden, but then it became exposed. And so they literally, soon after, the government came in and they removed, and they actually had a public burning of all of the slot machines, the tables, everything that they could, no different than in the days whenever Prohibition started and they were smashing up barrels. That's what they did with the Vapors. So very little of the Vapors casino machinery was actually able to be salvaged because it was so destroyed. But it was enough that the government in general, meaning Washington, was attracted to this particular venue.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I am with Sweet and Sour Paranormal. My part on the team is I'm the clairvoyant one. Well, we're at the Vapors tonight. I've done a couple of tours around here, so I've always wanted to come back and investigate it because while I was here, there was just a lot of things, a lot of activity going on, a lot of things that I picked up, and so I'm really excited about being here tonight and just see who's wanting to talk to us. I know there's a guy that wants to talk to us already, but so far there's been about 9 individuals here that's trying to talk to me, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what we're going to find tonight.
So basically what I do is I do the audio. So I collect audio on pretty much everything that we, in investigation we do. Hello? And hearing that there's been a lot of audio or verbal things that have been heard through the building and everything. I'm kind of excited about some very specific areas right now. So yeah. Besides these two places, what are other places?
The lobby right here.
I was fixing, the lobby and kind of the kitchen. I thought Jimmy was out here, had come in or something, and I walk out of the kitchen, there's nobody there, and he's in the back.
Usually what we do is I'll record for a full minute, ask questions, give long pauses and everything in between questions, and then we'll just do it in different sections of the room and everything, and so yeah, that's basically it. Turning on my device. You have two devices to talk into. There's one being held right over there. There's one right here. Do you want to communicate with us? Just talk in one of those. Hey, this is Chris. What's your name? You hear it? Sounds like two syllables, but it's really low.
I heard when you said you know about the gambling going on, there was a response there.
Yeah, two syllables.
Do it again.
Okay.
Can you turn it up at all?
I can't. That's why I have to run it through my computer most of the time.
I swear it said David.
Say David?
It is two
Let me
syllables.
see.
And already I can do it.
Did you hear it?
Do you want me to stay in here?
No. Do it again.
That's 154.
But it wasn't movement.
Are you a lady that's been here? Is it the lady that I saw earlier? Just tell us anything. Just talk to us. I heard a long pause and it said hello with a female voice. That's why I said,
I had my headphones on. It sounded like it said Michael. But that's me.
but it's a female voice. Sitting over there, I felt hot.
Yeah, it's kind of warm over here.
hot over here.
Still feel warm.
I'll trade with it if you want.
Sitting right, you were sitting right where I was.
Yeah.
I'm burning up.
And I'm sweating.
I feel it right here.
Cold?
Yeah.
I'm getting cold.
If you want to, you can talk through this device or that device. Can you hear me?
That
We
camera.
were filming over here and doing a spirit box session, and he and I heard a female voice in the middle of the room.
I just heard it when I walked in.
There's a female in here, but there's children here too.
So we came in here one afternoon, there was no air conditioning going, no air moving at all, and I was over at the corner looking in a room, just being the normal nosy person, just looking around, seeing what was there, what had happened to it, when one of the French doors to my side slammed shut. And when the girl came out and I asked her, I said, are there any things like entities in this building? And she says, well, one has been spotted in black, a man in black. They've always described him as a man in black. And the man who previously owned this building, he was notorious for being dressed in black.
We pulled in here one afternoon for a training session for the dinner that for one of the nights. Anyway, we were sitting outside waiting for them to open the door. Travis went by and the doors were locked. And as I was looking at the window, there's a desk that used to be right against the window. Well, all I saw was the legs go walking across. So you couldn't see the upper part. And I thought there was somebody in the office, but there wasn't nobody in the office. And he couldn't walk between the window and the desk. It was only about 2 inches apart.
It was very common. They had an 8 o'clock show and they'd have a midnight show. So at midnight, you can imagine what happened afterwards. There was also a lot of gambling that went on. Well, as we know with gambling, there's a lot of debts that also goes on. And along with debts creates loan sharks. There was a time whenever they couldn't control the guns. And so to this day, there are people that may go to dig up for a garden and find a skeleton. There are many areas that we've yet to explore in this area. Spirits that had worked here decided that, hey, I'm going to hang out. This is where I'm going to see. So with those things in mind, you know, I can't say that there's not something here. There's several. Hot Springs was surrounded by tunnels from the gangsterism. And so there was many times that the gangsters could run from one hotel over to another. There was a lot of speakeasies in this town. There was a cigar bar that behind it was a speakeasy. All of this was tunnels. There's a main creek, Hot Springs Creek, that runs all the way down our main road here. And that's where they would kind of tunnel through and make their way out close to a mile from here. And then they would arise and they would come back and no one would ever see them and they wouldn't have to be worried about any entourage or paparazzi at that time.
Hi, Lottie.
Well, we came to the apartment.
Is there somebody here with us, Lottie?
Oh, really?
Can you talk to Lottie? Okay, who just touched the ball? Can you touch it again? Thank you. Oh boy.
Are you sure it's not the baby
It's
moving?
no, because it would have done it 100 times. It's been moving more before. It wasn't even moving right then.
Blake, did you bring your REM pod?
She turned off by herself.
REM pod's in the.
Well, it also could be her motion.
No,
No, because
she's
she's
been going
moving
nuts
like
early.
crazy, and
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
going. Look, it's moving now.
Well,
It's not.
I wanted to be fair.
Where did Chris go?
It's sitting in there, we're just hanging there, and it starts going, get back, get back, get back, get back, and then it shuts off.
Man, this has been good. Huh? This has been really good.
Has it?
It goes through radio.
It sweeps the
frequency.
radio.
And so we're doing that, and the door shuts. Well, he's over here filming. He thought he saw somebody, so he went, it's okay. So we just kind of dismissed it. Well, we figured out later, nobody was over there. That door just shut.
See?
Corey's door.
Yeah.
So right
What
after,
did I tell you?
Yeah.
right
it's always
after
Corey's
that, two of us at the same time heard a lady in the middle of this room.
And that's what Chris was just telling me.
So I would have to say that with all the lives that have been attached to this building, and knowing how spirits can easily attach themselves, that a lot of people, they spent, like I said, their whole life here. This was their whole life. And so this became more home than their own home. It does bring up a lot of suspicions and a lot of curiosities as to why a lot of things, why people see things, why people hear things, why doors are constantly moving, why, there are noises, why there is things that move that is not there. So, there is a lot of unanswered questions. A known photograph of my father and me was taken right here on the center of this stage, and which I consider an honor, because any spirits that were here were also in that photo. And I appreciate you being in that photo.
Is the Vapors haunted by a family? Are the apparitions even related? Or are they the victims from the gangsters from the past? While all that remains a mystery, maybe you should visit the Vapors and find out for yourself.